I'm the organizer of this exhibition. It's a show that I curated. I'm Trevor Schoonmaker, the curator of contemporary art at the Nasher Museum at Duke University. It's a show that originated at the Nasher Museum at Duke, and then it traveled to the ICA Boston, and now it's here at Miami Art Museum, and then it will travel to the Henry Art Gallery in Seattle. It's decidedly not about album cover art. While I absolutely love album cover art, and that's a component of the exhibition, I didn't want it to look like the curator's favorite 200 album covers. That show's been done very well in the past, and this is really the first global exploration of, and historical exploration of, how artists have worked with vinyl records over the last 50 years. Well, it's something that I sort of fell into because I have a great interest in music, and so in always being drawn to artists who are interested in sound and music, I've seen so many works by artists who have worked with records in really interesting ways. So, and I grew up with records, and it finally came to me that it's a subject that needed to be a little more deeply explored. But there are quite a number of artists who've made their living with sound in this exhibition, and you'll see downstairs in the show there are a number of artists who work with sounds in various ways. It's not all sound-based, but some of it's implied, some of it's just the idea of sound, some of it's actually manipulating records to play sound, and so on and so forth. I can't say I have a favorite, but what I really strove for is a sort of broad, diverse sampling. It's really meant to be a survey, and in that regard, it's aiming to be as global as possible and bring in artists who have never shown in U.S. museums before, and rare works by artists who are not known for working with records like Ed Ruscha or Carrie Mae Weems, and then brand new works that were commissioned for the exhibition. Oh, the number of the cornerstones, you know, you have to think of someone like Christian Marclay or Dario Robledo or Laurie Anderson. Those are sort of historical anchors in some way. And then curveballs like a Mean Green Mike, who's not known to the art world, is an outsider artist who created an alternate universe where he was a soul superstar and the album cover designer and the record exec, and he sort of lived in this world and produced all these fake album covers from the 60s and 70s. It's all down there. They look like real album covers. In fact, they were quote-unquote discovered by a record collector. Were it not for Dori Hadar digging through crates in a flea market in DC, no one would know about this work. But they look and feel like real. I mean, he, you know, created to scale album covers, sometimes with a fake cardboard record inside, and even wrote songs for some of these. They're really wonderful. Well, the exhibition doesn't so much. The exhibition, I think, speaks more to the way that vinyl has survived and never really gone away. But I think some of the works in the show speak to the death of vinyl and its rebirth and the way that it's really gone through a renaissance in the last 5 years, even though it's never really disappeared. Vinyl sales have been going up for the last 5 years. Well, there's a terrific context for the show. I mean, anywhere where there's a really great music community is a wonderful location and context for the exhibition. So I'm hoping, I think we're all hoping, that that community will come to the museum. In North Carolina, that worked to our advantage, where there's a great indie rock community, and many of those people hadn't come to the museum before, and they came in droves to the exhibition. And Boston has a great music community, as does Seattle. So it's probably not a coincidence that these institutions in these cities also have good music communities.